Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Zyder here, and today I've got for you something a little bit different to my normal video, my upload style. Today I've actually got some a bit of an update sort of video, which is going to be taking place over this Bloodborne footage you see in the background. Now I am going to quickly shut up for this line of text. Well, that was well timed. Anyway, so yeah, I've actually gone into a very small sort of deal for publicisation of a local company in my town called Grant Gurnall's Creations. Now, this is going to be a very small snippet of information about these. However, all the information and relevant information will be in the description below. So if you do like fantasy books or basically anything, this company likes to make almost any sort of content. You've got music videos, you've got blogs, you've got football blogs, sports blogs, and upcoming tech and other variety of blogs. So please go visit their channel. You know, if you're into that kind of thing, go visit it. Say Zyder sent you. Drop a thumbs up, drop a like, drop a subscribe, anything. And you know what? You'll help me, you'll help them, and I'll just be overall grateful to you. But anyway, off that small note, we've got in the background here some Bloodborne footage. Now this is actually me traversing Old Yharnam. Now, as you heard there at the start, Old Yharnam is defended by Jura, D-G-U-R-A, but obviously you don't pronounce a D in like the Django Unchained. Doesn't sound right. Anyway, he watches over Old Yharnam. He claims that the beasts are of no harm to the hunters and the people anymore, and he can become actually friendly later on if you choose to come to him from Dark Beast Pal. Minor spoiler alert. But anyway, it is probably one of my favourite early areas of Yharnam, whilst the game still makes sense. Around a little bit towards the end of the game, if anyone has completed it, and minor spoiler alerts, the game kind of goes a bit wacky and awesome. But you can tell, like, heavily from the H.P. Lovecraft that this entire game borrows from. Like, the Cthulhu mythos is in here somewhere with like the amygdala or the amygdala, whichever one you want to call. You know, it's all in there. And obviously, for someone who, like myself, I've never read these books. You know, I've heard of H.P. Lovecraft, and I can appreciate it because I've heard of Cthulhu and things like Shoggoth, I think. You know, and I can appreciate that. But even someone who probably does read these books, I can appreciate it even more. Now anyway, over to the core of the gameplay. This is my sort of, which is quite a random build actually. I'm using the Saw Cleaver and Blunderbuss, so it's kind of a cover art sort of build. But here I'm sort of demonstrating quite an interesting mechanic in that the beasts of Yharnam are actually scared of the hunters. I think it's the hunters and the normal torch in the offhand. So as you can see, these ones with their eyes covered, they don't seem to give much of a toss about the fact that I've got a torch in my offhand. But the ones where their eyes aren't covered, you see them sort of shy away from the fire, which, to be honest with you, it's a bit more of a crutch for this sort of area, because these enemies they're a bit rapid if anything, but they can be dealt with if you've still got your firearm in your offhand. However, what I am going to do during this video is areas where the hunter talks, I'm going to shut up, because I still want you to enjoy these little bits of gameplay. And the voice acting in this game is top notch. Everyone from German to the doll, they're all brilliant. And with that, I think I'm just about to intersect on a line of speech. I am gingerly treading because I'm not quite sure when he comes in and I don't want him midway through a sentence, so... And I'm getting absolutely mobbed here, so I thought, sod it. And actually I'm going to touch on the Saw Cleaver after as a weapon of interest, because I've seen some interesting posts on forum about the Saw Cleaver and the fact that it has back again. The Saw Cleaver has unusual sort of damage profile for some reason. This weapon just does so much damage compared to what it should do. And now Jura starts raining down Gatling on us. So yeah, you know, your day's getting pretty bad when a hunter armed with what looks like an explosive Gatling gun decides that he doesn't want you on his lawn. Anyway, so the Sword Cleaver for some reason just seems to shred bosses. I've done a strength build using the Kirk Hammer, I've used a dex build, a skill build, using things like the Threaded Cane and the Blade of Mercy, but this is kind of like a quality strength build where it's leaning that way, and I am absolutely obliterating things when the Sword Cleaver is just shortened. I'm just tearing through things. My DPS is so much higher, and as you can see here, Jura is actively searching for ways to get rid of me, which is a really interesting way in which he actually interacts with you. He's going to chase you around the place. He'll destroy barrels and basically be a pest, probably back onto the Sword Cleaver. This weapon just seems to have some sort of damage profile all by itself. I'm murdering things so quickly, I'm going through bosses. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to catch it in this video clip, but Bloodstarved Beast was almost too easy. One fire paper and that thing was in the dust. But I suppose it's probably because it's attacked so quickly, but its scalings aren't sort of that bad to reflect that. It does reasonably well with a strength build, whereas if I use, say, like a sword spear, that'll be more of a dex build, but yeah, I'm actually really liking the weapon, to be honest. I was a big fan of the Kirk Hammer and Ludwig's, but I've kind of been completely changed over by this just awesome weapon. And other than that, I'm going to say I'm enjoying Bloodborne, and I'm afraid though, I have one big issue with Bloodborne at the moment, and that's that I'm finding little reason to play again. I mean, at the moment, my playability is coming from the fact that I want to exhaust all the builds. So strength, skill, and hybrid, so to speak. But after that, build creation and build potential is not going to be the reason for me to play again. The only reason that I'm actually going to want to play again is for story arcs that I've missed, which is probably a good thing. And here you see the advantage to the extended sword. Chop. But yeah, whereas in somewhere like Dark Souls 2, which will probably be my next video, funnily enough, on my channel, build potential is huge. You can go anywhere with your build. You can create spell swords, clerics, massive knights. You can create jousting knights if you want. You can do anything you want. Archerist, pure mage, tank shield mage. How on earth did I survive this? Unreal. But so that is the problem I have with Bloodborne compared to Dark Souls. It's not simplified, so to speak, but due to the little different sort of abilities you have, your builds are very two-dimensional. You can't get 3D with them. Whereas in the next video, where I show off my current level 130 cleric from my Dark Souls 2 build, which is now going into Shulver, you'll see the amount of variety I have with spells, weapons, offhand, in hand, and I just think it's a terrible shame that Bloodborne has that lack of depth when it comes to items and builds. However, I think this could be remedied with probably one of my least favourite option, and that's DLC. If they did some sort of Dark Souls-esque DLC where they put in 3 sort of segments, like the 3 Crowns DLC or the trilogy, and they added weapons, new outfits, new armour pieces, new bosses, and new story, I think they'd be onto a winner here. Because at the moment, I think the one actual problem with Bloodborne, besides those I've outlined before, is it's a bit shy of content at the moment. It's full of interesting lore and story, but it's so short, but it's not a bad thing. Because I think that it also has the potential to overstay its welcome, and which is terribly bad. Something like Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon is a case of where it's over the top, but enough for you to appreciate it. But getting off topic, I think DLC for Bloodborne would be widely accepted. I would certainly jump on the bandwagon. I'd throw my money straight at my PS4 for that. But I don't know where they'd take it, because at the moment I feel as if they've sort of explored all the avenues. But I'd be interested to see where they go. I mean, Canehurst Castle is an extremely awesome scenario, and in a minute you're going to see me make a very bad decision, and I should have switched. Should not have had it extended. And here I fall to the beast of Yarnum. But with the magic of editing, here I am regaining my souls from the beast of Yharnam, or Blood Echoes. I keep confusing the name. Thank God for editing. So, oh, pardon me, I'm so gassy, I'm so unprofessional, but I suppose, as far as DLC goes, if they do it like Dark Souls 2, I'd be quite happy with that. But however, I don't think they need to go to Scholar of the First Sin level of change, because I think this game's well designed enough. I think that you don't need to change anything, but maybe a couple of DLC packs with, you know, story, weapons, I think it'd be really nice, because it would flesh out a quite skinny area of the game. Now, that's not saying that the weapons are underdeveloped. That's not what I'm saying. Because each weapon has such an interesting skill set and move that it encourages you to learn and really master a weapon. For example, with the Saw Cleaver, knowing when to extend or knowing when to shorten makes a world of a difference between knowing or just using a standard set of moves. Or, for example, with the Kirk Hammer, knowing when or when not to sheath into the hammer. It's tying off between those skills, and I think that creates an extremely higher skill ceiling and skill boundary compared to the sort of Dark Souls 2, where weapons just have a very cookie cutter set. Most halberds handle the same, most swords handle the same. Very few have alternate attacks, and most of those are equipped with boss souls. But anyway, since we're now coming up to the end of the video in about 2 or so minutes time, I don't think there's much really to cover. My next video will either be the same 3 categories I'm doing. I could do another Bloodborne, Dark Souls 2, or some more Battlefield shenanigans, whichever comes first. I think the next Battlefield video will probably be just a funny one of me laughing at my own implayability, but and then it's with the sort of partnership / small sponsorship deal I'm doing with GGC, or Grant Gurley's Creations. I work in-house for them out of work, and I'm part of the business, and I'm liking to do a sort of small bit of sponsorship for them. I like to put their name out there, because I think that honestly what they're doing is brilliant, and that's just not from me peddling that to you. I like what they do, and I think that if you're into it, you're going to find a lot of what you want on their site. So, like I said earlier, if you do go over to their sites, their blogs or their YouTube channel, or even their Twitter, their hubs will be put in the comment section, in the description box below. Please leave a like, drop a thumbs up, you know, leave a comment, tell them that Zyda sent you, and I don't know, praise the sun if any of you Dark Soulers out there know that. But other than that, I've been Zyda, and thank you very much for watching. And as per usual, as I've asked you again, you know, leave a like, drop me a comment if you want to ask about things or see things, and other than that, I will see you in the next video. Peace out, people.